The Tibetan Buddhist canon is a loosely defined list of sacred texts recognized by various schools of Tibetan Buddhism, comprising the Kangyur, Kanjur, and the Tengyur, Tanjur. The Tibetan Buddhist canon, in addition to earlier foundational Buddhist texts from early Buddhist schools, mostly the Sarvastivada and Mahayana texts, the Tibetan canon includes tantric texts. The last category is not always sharply distinguished from the others. The Tantra division sometimes includes material usually not thought of as tantric in other traditions, such as the Heart Sutra, and even versions of material found in the Pali canon. The Tibetans did not have a formally arranged Mahayana canon and so devised their own scheme which divided texts into two broad categories: the words of the Buddha and later the commentaries, respectively the Kangyur and Tengyur. The Tengyur underwent a final compilation in the 14th century by Buston. Unfortunately, we have no proof that Buston also took part in the collection and edition of the Salpa Kangyur, but he consecrated a copy of this Kangyur 1351 as he visited Sholgungthang. We know from Sakimahog LDN that Buston edited a Kanjur, unfortunately not which one. The Kangyur usually takes up 100 or 108 volumes, the Tengyur 225, and the two together contain 4,569 works. Kangyur, or translated words, consists of works in about 108 volumes supposed to have been spoken by the Buddha himself. All texts presumably had a Sanskrit original, although in many cases the Tibetan text was translated from Chinese or other languages. Tengyur, or translated treatises, is the section to which were assigned commentaries, treatises and abhidharma works. The Tengyur contains around 3,626 texts in 224 volumes. The Kangyur is divided into sections on Vinaya, perfection of wisdom sutras, other sutras, and tantras. It includes texts on the Vinaya, monastic discipline, metaphysics, the tantras, etc. Some describe the Prajnaparamita philosophy, others extol the virtues of the various bodhisattvas, while others expand the Trikara and the Alaya Vinayana doctrines. When exactly the term Kangyur was first used is not known. Collections of canonical Buddhist texts existed already in the time of Trisong Detsen, the sixth king of Tibet, in Spiti, who ruled from 755 until 797 CE. The exact number of texts in the Kangyur is not fixed. Each editor takes responsibility for removing texts he considers spurious, and adding new translations. Currently there are about 12 available versions of the Kangyur. These include the Dirge, Lhasa, Nathang, Kone, Peking, Urga, Phudrak, and Stog Palace versions, each named after the physical location of its printing. In addition, some canonical texts have been found in Tabo Monastery and Dunhuang which provide earlier exemplars to texts found in the Kangyur. All extant Kangyur appear to stem from the old Nathang Monastery Kangyur. The stemma of the Kangyur have been well researched, in particular by Helmut Eimer. The Bon Kangyur. The Tibetan Bon religion also has its canon literature divided into two sections called the Kangyur and Tengyur, claimed to have been translated from foreign languages, but the number and contents of the collection are not yet fully known. Apparently Bon began to take on a literary form about the time Buddhism began to enter Tibet. The Bon Kangyur contains the revelations of Shenrab, the traditional founder of Bon. A version was published in 1993 to 1997.